Hey guys, all right, let's do this video. So let's look at where we are, and so we always start with our review of the dash, right, to see how things are going. And so right now, when you look at it, the pool is shrinking, and that is obvious, and we all know that. And we had a great conversation yesterday as to why and some of the things that they're doing about it to fix this. And I tell you, I am really excited. I think today is going to be a great day. And I'm not saying that because at the end of the day, we know that it's not just one exchange that changes everything. We know it's going to be a multiple group of exchanges. Some of them will be good, some of them will be not so good. Some of them will get volume, some of them won't get so many volume. So the name of the game is to kind of go out there and continue to kind of add to it. And so I am happy that they did that. They learned from it, and then now they're going to go back and regroup. So, and today, what was it? 2 days ago, they announced that they had signed another exchange, and then they have another big announcement today. So let's see what that is. But I'm excited to really get that information and see what we need to do because this is something that we need to focus on, and everyone knows that, and they're focusing on it. So I feel good about that. So we'll continue to monitor that, and if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know. But overall, that's where we're going. A lot of lessons learned from this. But again, as I said, don't let this scare you because our reward pool is staying consistent. And so that's a good thing about the changes in which they did. People don't realize that the daily rewards have been consistent. And so that's a good thing. And so right now, here's where we are in regards to one BNB will get you about 12 billion in regards to that, and so it will take you about 476 days to make your return on your investment. And so this is where I keep saying that this is where we got to keep an eye on. This is where we need to improve on. That is really our KPI. This is what's important for us. What's important is how many days will it take for us to recoup our investment. And so that's what I'm keeping an eye on right now. While the price is low, look at that. It's a great opportunity to pick up one BNB because I remember I was watching this before. One BNB and you only had like 7 billion. Now it's up to 12 billion. So again, looks better and better in terms of opportunities for folks, and I'm pretty sure that folks are going to start to jump on that. All right, so now that we've looked at overall how are we doing from you could call it the kind of like the fundamentals in regards to Hodl token. So now let's take a look at the market. All right, let's look at the market. In regards to the market itself, we start off with Bitcoin. Uh, been on an impressive rally, and so what I'm starting to see, and so let me zoom out a little bit. This is on the 1 hour, so let's bring it down to the 4 hours. I like looking at the 4 hours. What I'm starting to see though, in at least in the 1 hour, is starting to see a little bit of a weakness, right? We saw BNB. I'm sorry, we saw Bitcoin make this move up and got rejected. So it popped up, rejected, came up again, rejected. It's still in an upwards trend, so don't get me wrong, we're still bullish. But I'm starting to see weakness in Bitcoin, and so that is something that I'm keeping an eye on because we kind of broke through this trend line, and so which other trend line are we going to kind of bounce off of, right? And so there's various options that I'm watching to kind of see what happens, and so we could bounce off this one, right? Because we didn't bounce off this one. This one we're right here, so this could be an opportunity, but realistically we may come and test this trend line. But if all fails, then this is the last one in regards to from a trend line that we could come and test. And so let's keep an eye out for that. I didn't put my SMAs on there, so let's see where the SMAs are telling us in regards to potential opportunities for it to find some type of support. And so, all right, so let's look at that. And so we put our 9 period. What does that tell us? What does that look like? Okay, so yeah, we are right on that SMA line. So let's see if we bounce. All right, so if we bounce off this, that's a great sign. Then that means that we're respecting this SMA line. We pull back to the SMA, and what we want to see is we want to see a nice bounce back right there and just continue on. So we'll keep an eye out that to see what happens here. So overall, not too concerned. Just a little bit of a small pullback, right? We anticipate these pullbacks, a small pullback after a nice run. Get to an area of support. First area of support is this trend line, and it happens to be the 9-period SMA as well. Let's see if we could bounce off of that. That's what I'm looking for today to see if we could pull that off. All right, let's go to BNB. BNB, so a little bit of the same thing, right? So starting to see some softness in regards to BNB. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so what we saw this little bit of a weakness, and so let's continue to watch that because I would love for it to price to kind of move back up here, because it was getting squeezed and it ended up being on the wrong side of that trend line, and so we want to see price come back up, or else you're gonna start to see it kind of roll over a little bit, and we don't want that. So when you look at the moving averages. Let's see, where's my moving average? There you go. It's a little slow. Yeah, when you look at the moving average, it's right there. And so yeah, so it's still positive, but I would have liked a much higher trend in regards to allow us to be above this trend line, but still it's still bullish. So that's a good thing. Let's see if it keeps up. So this is the trend line that it's riding now. Let's continue to monitor that. Anything that goes below this, then, or below this area right here, then we start to kind of get a little concerned in regards that we're going to retreat back and try to test some of these support areas. So let's monitor that and see what happens. But it could either come and test this support area, and if it fails that, then it's looking for the next areas for support. So, all right, we'll continue to do that. So now let's get to the main event, which is Hodl, in regards to how are we doing. So we had a massive pullback, or a sell-off, I should say, and that sell-off created buying opportunity. We saw strength come in terms of buying, and then we lost a little bit momentum through overnight or just overall, and then we saw some buying come in, and then right with that buying, we saw some selling pressure come in, and so right now what we want to see buying continues, right? So we want to see folks are able to yeah, we want to see buying continues, and that's going to allow us to kind of really see the price action continue to move up. So that's what we will be watching for, because I think that if we could get above this trend line right here, it will be a great opportunity for us to kind of start looking at creating an upwards momentum in regards to getting above here, right? So this is what we want to see. Let me get this. We want to see buying come in, and we want to see buying gets us above that SMA line, and so once we get above that, then we could say we're a trending or starting to trend in the upwards position. But until then, we really got to look out and make sure that we're able to kind of do that. So this is what I want to see. The good news is that we are above the super trend, so we are trending favorably. But the bad news is we're below the SMA line. We really don't want to be below the SMA line. We want to be above it. We want to ride price right back up here. And so I am really looking forward to today's announcement to see the opportunities that that could bring, because that is what we want. We want some good things to come out. And so let's continue to watch and see the news that comes out today, because we really need to kind of see what are they doing to bring in volume. And as they do that, we will start to see price take off. And I tell you, our health is always measured by the strength of our BNB pool. And right now, we need to really look at strengthening or increasing that pool. And so I really think these guys have a plan. Now it's just a matter of going through and just being able to kind of execute on that plan. So I do expect some big news today. I really am excited because I think that if they already told us one exchange is coming and they have another big news, what could that be? But you know, I have my ideas or speculations in terms of what I think it is, but let's watch and see what happens. But today will be a great opportunity for us to kind of look at and see what happens with pricing, but more importantly, the news, what we see potentials are going to be. Because remember, it's always about the potentials in which we have. Right now, I think that this is what the price is telling us, but let's see what happens today because I think that today is going to start changing that conversation. So that's all I had to share with you guys today. I am seriously thinking about breaking these videos up to make it easier for you guys to get the information. So we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to get this video out to you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.